Making the move from Brazil to England was never easy for Lucas Silva, but he had to do that. That was his last opportunity and he took that. Now after moving to Wolverhampton, he of course needs to find a house. So Lucas right now is on the hunt for a place to stay because he's been using the club's facilities so far. But how long can a professional footballer live in the club's facilities who's 20 years old? I mean, he's got to move into his own place. He's got to find himself a place to live, to chill, relax. And that is exactly what Lucas Silva is doing right now. He's just roaming around in the car to find, a rental place. Because of course he doesn't really earn that much as of now to afford a place on his own. So he's doing exactly that. So let's hope Lucas Silva can find a good place to stay and relax, while of course he can also focus on his footballing career. But also, it seems like the Wolves fans are not really sure about Lucas Silva's defensive abilities, even though Lucas Silva shined for them in the pre-season tournament. Some even wanted him to not start for the Premier League game they have against Everton because of him not being a defensive fullback. Because you guys know how the Premier League want their players. They want them to defend, they want them to run. They don't really want experiments. They prefer the standard fullbacks just defending and all that. But Lucas Silva is Brazilian. His idols are Marcelo and Roberto Carlos. You know he's going to be going forward, and Wolves have signed him for that. They know that, of course, Lucas Silva is something different and offers something different. If they want something traditional, they can go back to Barry Douglas. But it does seem like the coach is backing Lucas Silva. He is going to be starting this one against Everton, the first Premier League game of the season, the Premier League debut as well for Lucas Silva. And I'm hyped for this one. So let's hope Lucas Silva can win over the fans by showing them a different style of football, a different style of a fullback. Let's hope Lucas Silva can win over these fans over the course of today's episode. But welcome guys to the second episode of the My Player Career Mode series. Even though FIFA right now isn't in the best of places, you guys have showed insane support on this series, so I can't thank you all enough. And if you do enjoy this My Player series and want to see more episodes of it, go down there and drop a like on this one. 400 likes would be absolutely fantastic. Also, just to let you know, I've moved out from my regular place, so I'm staying somewhere else in a flat. So it was really difficult for me to upload this video in itself because of not having internet connection for a few days. And apart from that, in fact, I don't even have a chair to sit on. So it's a bit of a struggle right now uploading videos, but I'm trying my best to get you guys the content. So hopefully you guys do appreciate that. Right now, it's Wolverhampton versus Everton on your screen, and as you guys can see, Lucas is having a decent game, a rating of 7.1, and he's been really involved going forward, putting in good crosses, as this one almost resulted in a goal, but the attacking play that we have couldn't convert that, which was a bit disappointing. Here of course Ruben Neves, one of my most trusted teammates in this side just because of his sheer quality, is getting involved with me, which is nice to see, as the ball is now with Jota, who crosses this one in. A big chance for Raul Jimenez, the Mexican, but he took a shot on the rebound, sliding in, but he couldn't convert that. Now a chance maybe for Everton there. I should be dealing with that. Poor defending there from me, but luckily Rui Patricio is up to the challenge and he makes a solid save there. Didn't really have to do much, and unfortunately, that is how the game comes to an end. So our first game today ends in a 0-0 draw. And as we are Wolves, we're not any team like Man City, we're not a United. A draw is fine. Our objective is to finish mid-table, and a few draws will certainly help in that. And it's against Everton, it's not an easy side, so I'm not that disappointed with the performance. In fact, I think I put in a decent shift in this one, 7.1 rating, but still the fans weren't convinced. Look at this, as you guys can see, a lot of fans were really disappointed with the fact that I was just pushing forward and ignoring defensive duties. And I think one of the reasons for that is because, well, in a number of occasions, I struggled to defend against them. Although it was a clean sheet, I made a lot of mistakes defensively. I was out of position a lot of time. That is just Lucas Silva's style of play. He's an aggressive fullback. He's an attacking fullback. And I'm not sure the English fans appreciate that, the Wolves fan appreciate that. We've got to put in a solid performance in a game to show them that this style of football can be played at Wolves. So maybe against Arsenal, this is the chance. The coach is still trusting me. He's put me in the lineup against Arsenal at home. If there was ever a game that we needed to prove ourselves to the fans, it was this. Imagine getting a result against Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in England. That'd be amazing. And with Lucas Silva delivering, this could be the game where the fans really back Lucas Silva. They were already on the fence when Lucas Silva's transfer was made because he was an unproven talent. Yes, he put in a good shift in the pre-season tournament, but This is the real deal, and this is where Lucas Silva needs to shine. And not the best of starts for Lucas, as the Brazilian gets booked for something that I wasn't sure of, because I did not feel like that was a yellow card offence. But oh well, the referee decided to give that, and from the resulting free kick, Arsenal almost scored. Now you guys can already imagine the amount of people that would have been chanting Lucas out as soon as that would have gone in, because it was his fault that free kick was conceded. So thankfully that did not go into the back of the net. Here's Lucas Silva out wide in that left back role, tries to put in a driven pass to one of the attackers. Didn't really work out well for him. Now Lucas Silva doing some defensive works. This is where, of course, fans have problems with Lucas Silva, because he doesn't put a shift defensively. Here he's trying his best. Chance for Welbeck. Ball finds its way to Santi Cazorla, but Lucas Silva there puts in a solid challenge, wins the ball back, and his rating at half-time was 6.7, which I think is solid. So Lucas Silva in this game against Arsenal is getting the job done defensively, as well as providing something for the team going forward. So he's having a good performance, and this is where he needs to perform to prove the fans his worth. Now, of course, in the 68th minute of this one, maybe a chance for us. Ball played brilliantly to Lucas, who heads it down to, of course, Jota. Jota cuts it back to Lucas Silva, who gets the shots off, but Lucas Silva not really the player you want in the box to score for you, so he couldn't convert that. But again, great build-up play from Wolves. Now another chance maybe for us, as it falls to our striker, who's been subbed on, who gets the shots off, but Petr with a solid save. This game could go either way. We've been defending well, but Arsenal have had their fair share of chances. Here again, a really good decision from me to make the run forward. I trusted my teammates to win the ball back, and thankfully it worked for me. And here's Lucas Silva, and pretty much a 1v1 situation, decides to cut it back to Jota, which was the right decision. And of course, he gets himself an assist for that one, and Jota scores for, of course, Wolverhampton, as we take the lead against Arsenal. As I said, this was the game Lucas Silva needed to perform to win the fans over, to, you know, have the fans as his support system, and he's done exactly that. Brilliantly played by Lucas Silva, and the party's not over yet. Lucas Silva again bombing down that left-hand side, which is something of a trademark now for him, as he plays it to Ruben Neves, who made one of the most beautiful touches you could see, with a really delicate pass to our striker, who then just, of course, put that one into the back of the net, as somehow we are leading 2-0 against Arsenal in the 90th minute. An absolute masterclass of a performance from Lucas Silva. Man of the match in this one, and it's against Arsenal. That just makes it even more insane. The fans are chanting Lucas Silva's name. Everyone is behind Lucas Silva now, which is something Lucas did want. But what a start to our Premier League season. Wolves have now played 2 games in the Premier League and have won 1 and drawn the other. So 4 points puts them in the top 4, which I think is fantastic. We'll take a detailed look at the league table towards the end of this episode. But Lucas Silva gets himself an 8.4 match rating in this one. He didn't really have that many touches in this game, but 26 for a left back I think is good. The only disappointing part about this game was the fact that he got booked. But as you can see, the coach is pretty impressed with Lucas Silva. Take a look at this. He's called him the next Marcelo. That is huge praise. And also now fans are warming up to Lucas Silva, which is basically what he wanted since the get-go. Imagine being rejected by Corinthians but performing in the Premier League for Wolverhampton. It's just an incredible story, and football's about incredible stories. Anyways, time to get some training done, and if you guys can hear rain in the background, I'm sorry, I can't cut it out. It's like literally a downpour where I live right now. Raining way too often, so can't really cut the noise of the rain out, so I apologize for that. You guys will have to bear with me for now. Hopefully you guys won't hear it too much because of course, me putting music during these parts. Anyways, getting some training done, gotta practice defending. I of course want to improve as a defender as well. Playing as a left back in a my player career mode is very challenging, because for me, my tendency is to always attack, and sometimes that costs me, sometimes it works in favor for me. So if I can consistently get a high percentage of my tackles right by getting my tackle stats and defensive stats high, that'll definitely help me over the course of my career with this My Player series. As you guys can see, Lucas Silva posing in a fantastic manner there. He gets himself into the team of the week after that brilliant performance against Arsenal. Take a look at this card Lucas Silva has received for being the informed player of this week. A brilliant pose as well. Number 3 is his kit number. Left wing back is his position, 74 rated. Not bad at all. What a performance from Lucas that was against Arsenal. But now moving on, we cannot rest on our laurels. We've got to continue developing as a player, progressing in this series. We face Fulham away from home, and we know they've got a decent side. They've just been promoted to the Premier League just like us, so this might be a bit of a more fair game. Let's see what happens. Lucas Silva does pretty well there, beats one, finds Diogo Jota, and both of them have formed a really good partnership as Lucas plays the ball back to Jota, but Jota does get tackled this time. But it's good to see Lucas Silva finding teammates who he can, link up with easily, and the fact that Jota plays on the same side makes it even better. New signing Heinz there had an opportunity to score. He's the highest rated centre back this team has, who just made his signing or his move to Wolverhampton on the deadline day. I really feel Wolves have invested really well in this window. They've brought in a centre-back, a right-back, they've brought in Lucas as well. Good to see them putting in the money in this club, and maybe, who knows, a few seasons down the line, Lucas could get himself a proper long-term contract and maybe be winning the Premier League with Wolves. That'd be amazing, as Lucas now has an opportunity to put in a cross. But let's be honest, this cross was a bit terrible. 66 minutes down the line, it is still 0-0, but a chance now for McDonald, who finds Carney. Big opportunity for Fulham, but they couldn't get the shot away. But they might now. It's Cisse who gets the shot off, but not the best of attempts there from Cisse as the score again remains 0-0. Now Lucas pretty deep, as he should be, in that left back role, but he decides to go on one of those Brazilian runs, plays like Marcelo and all are famous for. Good pass to Neves. Somehow Neves couldn't find him, otherwise I think that could have been a goal. Lucas Silva has shown that he can finish the ball in certain circumstances, but there Ruben Neves decided to do something else. Didn't work out, and this game as well ends in a draw. So you know what? I am so happy with the way things have gone down in this episode. We've won the fans over. Lucas Silva has put in a great performance against Arsenal. First ever man of the match as well. This may have been a bit of a disappointing game in comparison to his previous ones, but I'm just saying, Lucas Silva, since joining Wolves, has played 3 Premier League games and Wolves haven't lost a single one. Things are going fantastic for Wolves, and there you go. As you guys can see about the Wolves signing Heinz deal, the deadline day was actually going on while we were playing the game, so a very crazy circumstance on how Wolves managed to bring in Dominique Heinz and how he was able to play that game, which was scheduled on deadline day. But who even cares? 15.3 million for this guy looks pretty decent, and he's a great teammate to be involved with. A German as well. Well, he's probably gonna crack some of those 7-1 jokes, which won't really be fun to hear. But regardless, deadline day is done and dusted. Wolves have invested well. To be fair, even the other clubs participating in the Premier League have invested well, so it is going to be tough. But after that game, decided to take my car out and eventually get myself a haircut, because a lot of you guys were really pissed off at the haircut I had. So Lucas Silva now driving his way down to the barber's shop, get himself a haircut, because he needs to look a bit decent, because right now I guess even I agree his hairstyle not the best. So I've just decided to go with something a bit crazy, a slicked back one, because why the hell not? Once we do unlock the afro, definitely gonna give Lucas Silva the afro, but for now I think this one looks pretty good on Lucas Silva. Let me know if you guys have any more suggestions. We can always drive down to the barber shop and get Lucas Silva a pretty solid haircut. There you guys can see now, Lucas is now 74 rated, which is great to see. 20 years of age. His value is now £12 million, considering Wolves bought him for about £1 million, like £2 million. That's insane. And he also got himself a skill move upgrade now with a 2-star skill move. Hopefully he can quickly make that into a 3-star, because we know how OP 3-star and 4-star skill moves are. Objectives wise, Lucas is balling out. Average rating of 7.2 so far, 100% tackle success rate. Who says Lucas Silva can't defend? When he does defend, he gets them right. 6 clean sheets is the goal, and the projected right now is 38, so I think we should be able to get that one done as well. Average fouls 1, apart from that 1 foul that we had, I think things are going pretty well. Next episode, it's Man United, and I'm hyped for that. But anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you guys have had, make sure to drop a like on this one. 400 likes would be awesome. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe for more FIFA 18 career mode content. I'll see you next time.